So we got some more information on Charlie Kirk's, right, little, assassinator. Small micro penis assassinator. Let's see what we got. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson lived with transgender partner source. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson was living with a transgender partner who was in the process of transitioning from male to female. Oh, okay, so he's gay then. A law enforcement source confirmed to the Post Saturday. That individual, who has yet to be publicly identified by the authorities, is now I shouldn't have fully cooperating with the FBI on its investigation. I'm sorry. He's a piece of shit, so I don't give a fuck. Into the fatal shooting of the conservative activist, the source added. The relationship was first reported by Fox News' Brooke Singman. According to public records, Lance Twiggs, 22, residing at the same address where Robinson lived, a relative of Twiggs confirmed to the Post Saturday that yes, they were roommates. And there's the murderer, right? The family member who asked not to be identified said Twiggs was the black sheep of their St. George, Utah family. So apparently, a family full of basically right-wingers versus him, the only left-winger. But declined to speculate on a romantic relationship between the two men. Hasn't there been some instances of left-wingers having right-wing family members and they go fucking ape shit on them or some shit? Doesn't that... Like, they posted it on, like, Twitter and shit, right? Like, what? Why are you people like this? Anyways, she said she didn't know her relatives' politics or whether Twiggs was transitioning to become a woman, but added that it wouldn't surprise her. The family member said she knew Twiggs was brought in for questioning by police. The Post observed Saturday that no one was at the $1,800 per month townhouse Robinson and Twiggs were believed to have shared. Twiggs' family member, who has not to be identified, declined to speculate on romantic relationship between Twiggs and Robinson. Neighbor claimed 2 weeks ago several people driving cars without the state plates were seen going in and out. They did not give off a good vibe, the neighbor said. Uh-oh. Out-of-state plates. Uh-oh. Anyways, Kirk, 31, was stuck in the neck by a single bullet shortly after being posed a question on his American Comeback college speaking tour about transgender mass shooters. We saw that. Do I have it here? Yeah, this one, right? Yeah, this guy. This is the guy. I think Channel 5, you know that Channel 5 News,
Right
yeah,
before
Channel
he got
5
shot.
News.
And
But Channel 5
that only
News
makes sense if we stay peaceful.
or
And as much as I disagree with Charlie Kirk, I'm on the record for how much I disagree with Charlie Kirk. But like, man, dude, he is still a human being. Have we forgotten that?
Yeah, they did
Are
an
we
interview
crazy?
with him.
Like, and people have
The
obviously
last
pointed to the
person to
irony
debate Charlie
that
Kirk.
So
I was.
So
the
if you want to
point
go
that I was
see
trying to
that
make
Channel
is how
5 with
peaceful
Andrew
Left was.
Callahan, right? He
Right before he got
apparently
shot.
interviewed him. So if
And
you
that-
want to go check that out,
That only makes sense
I'll
if we
put that
stay
in
peaceful.
the right.
And as much as I
Why not?
disagree with Charlie Kirk, I'm on the record for how much I disagree with Charlie Kirk. But like, man, dude, he is still a
anyway.
human being. Have we forgotten that? Are we crazy? Like,
That was the last person to debate Charlie Kirk. Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Asked attendee Hunter Kozak. Okay. Too many, Kirk responded. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Kozak followed up. Counting or not counting gang violence? The Turning Point USA founder sought to clarify. And then, yeah, pictures, okay. Kirk was shot immediately after, basically. As a self-professed evangelical Christian, Kirk criticized the goals of the LGBTQ agenda, expressed opposition to same-sex marriages, and spoke out against gender reassignment surgeries. Procedures, but he usually spoke about these issues with kindness and empathy. He recently spoke at length to a transgender male about the process of transitioning at one of the Prove Me Wrong pop-up question and answer events according to a video encounter posted by his organization in May. UVU mathematics student Hunter Kozak, right here. And Kirk was shot immediately after. I want you to be very cautious putting drugs into your system in the pursuit of changing your body, he said. I instead encourage you to work on what's going on in your brain first. I think that you need to first and foremost is just a diagnosis, he went on. Just someone that is going to listen to what you have gone through, listen to what else is going on. My prayer for you, he added, I actually want to see you be comfortable in how you were born. Yeah, his questioner agreed. I know that you might not feel that way, but I think that is something that you can achieve, Kirk concluded. I think that with the right team and the right people, you don't have to wage war on your body. You can learn to love your body, right? The FBI is currently looking for possible motive in a mountain of evidence, which includes the relationship between Robinson and Twiggs, as well as every connection, every group, every link, and anyone tied to the shooting, according to the law enforcement source. And the federal and the state authorities revealed that during a Friday news conference that a roommate was cooperating with their investigation. Text messages and other communication that the roommates traded with Robinson 22 helped the feds nab the accused assassin. The roommate had shared communications from a contact named Tyler on Discord that described bullet casings similar to the ones found at the scene and discussed the need to retrieve the rifle from a drop point. Cases found in Utah Valley University where Kirk was shot or inscriptions with one stating, "Hey, fascist catch." Yeah, we already saw this stuff. Bullets were fired roughly 200 yards from the imported .30-06 caliber Mauser bolt-action rifle that investigators found wrapped in a towel in a wooded area. Messages from the contact Tyler was mentioned that he had changed outfits according to an affidavit that detailed the Discord discussions. And the messages provided evidence for authorities to seek an aggravated murder charge against Robinson Friday, the only one that carries the death penalty. Though he grew up in a largely conservative Mormon family, Robinson was not registered with either major political party and appeared to have become infatuated by the far left in recent years. So he had no registered affiliation with any major political party. So why the fuck why do people keep fucking bringing up political party? I'm gonna fucking hang you people. I fucking hate this political party bullshit. How about I just fucking hang you, huh? Jesus. It's very clear to us and to the investigators that this was a person who was deeply indoctrinated with the leftist ideology. Utah Gov Spencer Cox told the Wall Street Journal in a brief interview published Friday. Cox also revealed that a recent family dinner and showcased Robinson's newfound beliefs, as he and a relative got into it over Kirk's viewpoints and how each didn't like the 31-year-old's conservative activist. Robinson also discussed in messages with the roommate how he allegedly etched messages onto the bullets. Former co-worker from Wild Electric told the Post Saturday that Robinson once boasted about his marksmanship and having hit a 450-yard shot. Family member said as a child that was seen as intelligent, a fast talker, and talented pianist. But when he got older, he was always gaming, and in his own little world, the relative noted he's still somewhat involved with the family, but has chosen a very different lifestyle, so not super close. He moved out when he was 17. Discord, the social network platform, said in a statement Friday that there were no evidence that the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord. The message referenced in recent reporting about planning details do not appear to be Discord messages, the company added. These are communications between the suspect's roommate and a friend after the shooting, where the roommate was recounting the contents of a note the suspect had left elsewhere. We had removed the suspect's account for violating our off-platform behavior policy. Robinson turned himself in to the authorities after being confronted by his own father and speaking with a youth minister, former sheriff's deputy. Okay, so the youth minister was the former sheriff's deputy about the shooting, law enforcement. So the father was right. They were a gun-toting family, and then you have the young minister. It was a former sheriff's deputy. Neighbors had left a small banquet of white flowers at the Robinson family home in St. George on Saturday. The FBI and Washington County, Utah Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond to requests for comment. There you go. Charlie Kirk, assassination, latest shooting commented by trans people and advocates. The assassination of conservative pundit Charlie Kirk marks the latest example of a growing wave of murders and other shootings committed by transgender people and other advocating for their rights. Right? Charlie Kirk assassination, latest shooting committed by trans people and advocates. Audrey Hale, a transgender shooter who murdered 6 people at Nashville. Remember that person? Audrey Hale, a transgender shooter who murdered 6 people at Nashville's Covent School in March 2023, raged about hating America, being miserable while being raised as a girl, and wanting to kill all the white kids. I only wore some nice girl clothes as a cover-up from the truth, which I denied myself all these years, and I hated all of it, Hale wrote in diary entries released following the shooting. It was miserable but being raised a girl because I had no choice, added Hale, who was born female but identified as a male. There was a lack of education, research, and medicine to help society or parents better understand transgender because there's no fucking such thing. It's what you guys made up. Being white sucks, apparently. I don't know. But being black is so... Well, apparently they were promoting black culture to this person, and that's why they're indoctrinated. Black people should rule. White people should... Black power, right? White people should fall. Every white person who lived and died hate you all. Man, this is sounding like some fucking... Right, this is sounding like some civil rights movement bullshit. Like, what? Right, this is what happened back during that time. Right? This is the exact same shit they were spouting back in that time. Right? What, the 80s, the 60s, 70s, and around there? Hale 28 was killed within 15 minutes of opening fire in the school. Robin Westman, the deranged shooter who slaughtered 2 children and injured at least 21 others during an August 27th at a Catholic school in Minneapolis, identified as a transgender woman. Remember this guy? Right. Robin Westman, a deranged shooter who slaughtered 2 children and injured at least 21 others during an August 27th. Oh, wait, I already read that, sorry. The former Robert Westman opened fire through the stained glass windows of a church and the Annunciation Catholic School, where he attended during a celebratory back-to-school mass filled with children. Even the left were cheering on this fucking piece of shit too. Right? Oh, we should feel sorry for this transgender person. No, I don't feel sorry. That person's gonna get hung, and I hope so. Fuck that guy. Jesus. Disturbing videos posted by the 23-year-old. 23-year shooter showed a handwritten manifesto and killed Donald Trump and for the children scrawled on his gun magazines. Yeah, they had a bunch of bullshit scrawled on there. Anyways. Westman, who died at the scene of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, went on his shooting spree armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a handgun, all of which he bought legally, cops said. Here's the latest Charlie Kirk shooting in Utah, if you want to read that. I'm not going to go through it because we already made a bunch of videos on it. Alec McKinney, who was sentenced to life in prison after being found guilty of being part of a notorious 2019 mass shooting at a Colorado charter school, told police he targeted classmates who mocked his gender identity. McKinney, who was born female and identifies as male, said students at the STEM school Highlands Ranch called him disgusting, made fun of him, and repeatedly referred to him as a she, according to written summaries of police interviews. McKinney, then 16, said he wanted the kids at the school to experience bad things, have to suffer from trauma like he had to in his life, and planned the May 7th attack for weeks, legal documents said. One student was killed and 8 others were injured. Nochia Mosley, 26-year-old transgender male, killed 3 people and injured 3 others before killing himself during a 2018 shooting in Maryland at a Rite Aid warehouse. Another student shooter, Devon Erickson, was also convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Erickson was 18 at the time of the mass shooting. Right? Why is it? It's always young people, man. Sonochia Mosley, a 26-year-old transgender male, this one. Right, we just read. Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, was living with a transgender partner who was in the process of transitioning from male to female, a law enforcement source confirmed to the Post Saturday. That individual, who has yet to be publicly identified by authorities, is now fully cooperating with the FBI on its investigation into the fatal shooting of the conservative activist, the source said. Source added. Before being shot Wednesday, Kirk was being questioned. Hunter Kozak, a far-left TikToker, who asked the conservative pundit about mass shootings involving transgender people. Yeah, I wonder. The two argued back and forth over the topic shortly before the shots were fired, killing Kirk. Kozak was standing nearby. I wonder why they used Kozak, right? On Thursday, posted on somber video on X, saying he still opposes many of Kirk's conservative views, but expressing condolences to Kirk's family. It's a tragedy, said a teary-eyed Kozak. People have, right, if you want to see he did a full interview with, Channel 5 Callahan, right? If you want to see that, right. People have obviously pointed out, to the irony that the point I was trying to make is how peaceful the left was, right before he got shot. And that only makes sense if we stay peaceful. Yeah, and then you basically got told down right there. Because now, well, now you were the last debate person he had. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson deeply indoctrinated with leftist ideology, Utah Gov says. Right, there's another article. There's a full article on it. Tyler Robinson, the alleged murderer of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, was deeply indoctrinated with leftist ideology. A preliminary investigation revealed, according to Utah Gov Spencer Cox. That's the right governor. Cox noted the Robbins. Also, that governor has said some weird shit. So, we'll see what happens with the investigation. Cox noted that Robinson's political leanings had since become very clear to us and to the investigators. In interview with the Wall Street Journal after Kirk was shot and killed Wednesday at Utah Valley University. At a recent family dinner, Robinson had mused over the conservative activist's first stop of his American comeback tour at the Orem campus, which was about a 3-hour drive from the alleged sniper's home. See. Suicide jacket. We've seen all this stuff already. The now alleged shooter, who was not registered with any political party, had discussed how he didn't like Kirk or his viewpoint or the viewpoints he had, with a relative who responded that the now 31 slain Turning Point USA leader was full of hate and spreading hate, according to Cox and an affidavit. Apparently a lie, because he's being. The funny thing is, he's being told all this bullshit. That's right. Right. These aren't his words. Right. These are someone else's words that they've given him to say. They talked about why they didn't like him and viewpoints that he had. The Republican governor added during a press conference. This is why I hate these kinds of fucking kids, right? Fucking dumbasses. Moments before he was struck with a single bullet in the neck, the father of 2 young kids had been answering a question about mass shootings carried out by transgender people. Evidence found at the scene of the fatal shooting provided a glimpse at a gunman with connections to left-leaning internet culture, including bullet casings that were retrieved bearing the phrase, "Hey fascist, catch." Other casings had etchings that read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." The Italian phrase, "Bella ciao," which has roots in anti-fascist movement during World War II, but has since become popular on TikTok. Apparently, I don't know how correct that. Anyways, Robinson's roommate also presented Discord messages from a contact anti-fascist. Very, very anti-fascist. Yes, to kill someone, right? That's yeah. Anyways, contact name Tyler. Discussed the need to retrieve a rifle. The alleged murder's Mauser Model 98 bolt-action rifle was a scope mounted on it. Was found in a wooded area not far from the Utah University. This is his family. The accused killer attended a Mormon church. Sorry, Charlie Kirk's family. The accused killer attended a Mormon church when he was younger. A neighbor who knew the Robinson family told the Post Friday. His parents, Matt Robinson and Amber Jones Robinson, have been identified as registered Republicans. I just know them as very good people, Lenia Shaw told Fox 13 Salt Lake City of the Robinson family. They are quiet and kind of keep to themselves a lot, but whenever I've needed anything, they've been able to come over and help very graciously and kindly. Robinson, 22, and received a scholarship to attend Utah State after having gotten top marks on his ACT exam and perfect GPA, the journal reported. At age 15, he had apparently developed enough online literacy to have dressed up as some guy from a meme for Halloween, according to posts on Facebook from his mother. So at the age of 15, he was already doing social media stuff. Posts showed Robinson wearing headphones and using a new computer and accessories he had been wanting, and apparently gotten as a gift for Christmas Day 2013. Robinson was turned in by his dad through a minister who was a family friend after having revealed to his father that he'd rather kill himself than surrender, law enforcement sources said. Ghoulish liberals appallingly celebrated Kirk's assassination, while even some Democratic lawmakers and officials blamed the conservative and Trump's MAGA movement for the bloodshed. Others claimed the alleged killer's family's ties to the Republican Party absolved the political left of any responsibility. Rep. Dave Min, Minnesota, right? Oh, no. that's his last name, sorry, of California, posted Friday night without evidence that the Charlie Kirk assassin has been identified as MAGA. Shut the fuck up. It's fucking California. I'm gonna fucking nuke you, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. I'm sure Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and all the insane GOP politicians who called for retribution against the radical left will now shift their focus to stopping the toxic violence of the radical right, men wrote on X. Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit. I fucking hate this piece of shit. Anyways, in videotaped remarks posted Wednesday night after Kirk's death, Trump lashed out at the radical left for having compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw this. I saw them do this. This one was a weird one. Yeah, I don't know why she posted. She made a whole video on that. I have some opinions on that one. That one weirds me out. Anyways, this one was like super. Well, I don't know why she. Whatever. Anyways, viral videos circulating on social media in the days since the murder have also shown prominent Democratic politicians, including Vice President Kamala Harris, calling Trump a fascist. One such video posted by the Republican National Committee has racked up nearly 2 million views. Trump in his address to the nation stated this kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. Kirk was struck in the neck by a single bullet and jerked back in pain, according to horrific videos that instantly spread across the incident. He was rushed to a hospital for emergency surgery after having lost a lot of blood. Cox urged Americans not to watch the footage. We are not wired as human beings biologically. Historically, we have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing these types of violent imagery, he said at the press conference Friday. Well, I mean, unless you're desensitized. The Utah governor also added the social media is a cancer on society right now. I would rather encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community, he implored the thousands of listeners who logged on to watch the news conference. There you go. But yeah, here's this piece of shit. Fucking assassin piece of shit faggot. Oh goddamn, I said the word. I mean, he is. He's an actual one. So it's like, Charlie Kirk's assassin had a trans boyfriend, called Charlie a fascist, confirmed leftist by friends and family, confirmed leftist by top officials on the record, including the governor, killed one of the most iconic conservatives in the country, and yet leftists will still claim he's right-wing. These people have no shame, no integrity, no honor, vile, repugnant to their core. Yeah, pretty much. That was from Matt Walsh. They feared this. Yeah, this is basically this is what Charlie Kirk said. Get married, have children, build a legacy, pass down your values, pursue the eternal, seek true joy. When he says pursue the eternal, he means he's being religious there, right? Sorry, I'm not very religious, so it's like, not for me. You do you. Visualize them, a bunch of posts. Anyways, on to the next. And then you have Paul Joseph Watson. The whole reason Tyler Robinson was actually a Christian conservative MAGA Republican scam really is having a bad 24 hours. Yeah, they're trying to push that narrative real fucking hard, right? Anyways, Antifa slogan on bullets, correct. Oh, well, yeah, well, you can say Truntifa now, I guess. Family said he was an extreme leftist who hated Charlie Kirk. School friends said he was an extreme leftist transgender boyfriend. Yeah, if you want to see his comments. Right. Sorry, I'm just trying to show you the comments, right? Anyways, and then we'll see what we got from Sky News Australia.
Joining us now here in studio is American Culture Project Senior Fellow and best-selling author Corey DeAngelis. Corey, thanks for joining us, and great to have you here in Australia. You're here for CPAC. We'll talk about that as well in a second. But I just want to ask you, how does a clean-skinned kind of young guy, clean-cut young guy,
just a tad.
smart, gets a scholarship in a family, loving family, doesn't seem to have any political interest particularly, rock off to tertiary education, university, college, whatever you want to call it, and a couple of years later there he is snipering, killing a man with a rifle. How does this happen?
Yeah, there's no clear answer to that, right? But there are some clues and some things happening in society in America right now and the rest of the world is you have the left-wing ideology infiltrating corporate media. You have them infiltrating the school system. He was at a university. And when you look at the critical race theory ideology, diversity, equity, inclusion ideology, it teaches you to hate your country. It teaches you to hate right-wing values. And most importantly, I think the problem that we've seen increasingly over the years is that the left has equated words
was
with
that
violence.
one person?
And so when you're told
Right,
that this
that
person
one
is
of
an evil
the
person,
one of the
this
young
person
one of the
is,
young
repeating things
trans
that are equal
shooters were
violence, well,
like
then if
they
you
didn't
respond
they hated
with
being
actual
white,
physical violence,
and we're
you're
just like,
basically
oh yeah, being
justifying
white
these acts, which
is
are
uncool,
terrible
being
and not
black is
justified in the least
cooler.
bit. But this should send a signal to everybody that you have to tone it down when it comes to, we need to have free speech and free exchange of ideas.
These kids, man.
And we can't just respond to those ideas with violence. What really breaks my heart with all of this is that this happened at a university. And universities are supposed to be bastions of free speech. They're supposed to be places where you have this free exchange of ideas. And Charlie was doing that. Charlie brought the debate to the universities, doesn't call for violence, and you have him assassinated in the very place where you're supposed to have free speech and free ideas. And the universities aren't doing that. I mean, that's what the universities are supposed to be. But they're not facilitating free and open dialogue. What they're doing is inciting resentment. And when you have these diverse, this is why President Trump, I think, is
right.
so
Whenever
big on
exactly, whenever you try to do a public debate with these people, they always try to pull a fast one on you or try to pull some bullshit on you. And then it's just like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why can't you just be civil? Why are you being weird about it?
Diversity, equity, inclusion, having executive orders to stop all DEI efforts because they are a dangerous ideology. And look, it's something we need to get out of our academic.
They have poisons.
Sorry, Rita. James?
Oh, well, just Corey, I just wanted to, ask you more specifically about your work that you do with this. I'm just, and almost want to pick you up on something you just said here. You said right-wing values. The schools teach you to hate right-wing values. I would say that it's certainly the experience of an awful lot of parents in Australia that the schools teach your kids to hate normal mainstream values. And tell me a bit about, the work that you do in terms of the schools, because I've been following your
they
exit
want
for a
you to
long
try
time.
and get
I know
you
right now you
transitioned for
found
some
guys who are
reason,
doing DEI,
and then they want you to
UCLA,
cut
who
off
are
your penis
celebrating the deaths.
and your
one of the things
balls.
that I've found since Thursday has been my Twitter has been filled with clips of
As a
teachers,
kid, by the
primary
way.
school teachers, celebrating, saying, yeah, this is so good. How on earth are we supposed to let our kids or grandkids go into schools and classrooms when you might have people in there 7 hours a day pumping them full of this?
And imagine the people who don't put this stuff on social media. And there's a lot of people in the system who aren't as brave or courageous to put all their thoughts for the world to see on social media. Some of them are getting fired, but some others in places like Oregon that I exposed, the superintendent actually responded saying, well, this was on their own time. This was on their personal Facebook account. They're not going to do anything about it.
But what did it say that they feel safe, that they feel like there's social clout for them?
It's almost like
feel safe by
probably
assassinating someone? What?
That are espoused by these people in their same school system, and so they're not going to hold them accountable. And it's a real shame.
That's like the
yeah,
total
what you said
opposite.
earlier is
That
the
doesn't
bigger
make
point,
any
right? We have
fucking sense.
Millions of kids, we have about 50 million kids in the U.S. going to government-run educational institutions where they're being indoctrinated for 13 years of their lives from K through 12 for 7 hours a day. So we see all this rot on the higher education campuses, on colleges and universities, but it didn't start there.
Right, if these people were really religious, they wouldn't have broken one of the 10 commandments, right?
We need to defund these institutions.
A very
we need to allow for
simple
school
one.
choice so that you can say, to heck with this.
Right,
We're going
a
to
very
send our kids
simple
to
law,
schools that actually
too.
align with our values, who don't have people who glorify violence, who
They
hate
did.
our
They
country,
broke
broke
the most fundamental rule in law.
Put together where you had Kamala Harris calling Trump a fascist. You called Tim Walz, the VP candidate, calling Trump a fascist, and you have this stuff on repeat in the media as well. It's not just in the educational institutions, but when you're surrounded with all this ideology, I mean, this same thing almost happened to President Trump. It hit his ear, and I mean, it's just a year later, and now Charlie Kirk, one of the main figureheads in the conservative movement in the United States, is taken out by an assassin. You have people in the school system celebrating it. It's just and trying and
yeah, not just the school. You have people in the tech industry.
Supported the Second Amendment,
you have people in the fucking politician fucking world. Right? This is fucked in the head. Right? These people are gross.
Some deaths because of people driving cars and saying, "Oh, you got into a car accident. Now we're going to celebrate you getting into a car accident because you support allowing cars." And
you even have religious, right? Super religious people,
say that this
right?
Okay
calling
anyway,
on
to
the
try to blame him for his own
super religious. Right. By the way, super religious people calling on the death of someone.
Grow
That's
even
what?
stronger than ever.
What?
And God bless Charlie and his family and Erica for putting out that brave message yesterday.
I think they are going to create a lot more Charlie Kirks out of this. And you talked about school choice, about parents having the right to send children to a school that aligns with their values. I would argue those formative years, primary school, secondary school, we call it here, are even more crucial than what they're taught at university. Because at least at university, that would hopefully have some critical thinking. They're at an age where they can feel confident challenging authority, whilst a small kid, 5, 6, 7, 8, they accept what a teacher tells them. So there really is no capacity to challenge that. And tell me about just how corrupted with leftist politics, academia.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally, they're fucking
insane.
on
and,
the social media platform,
all
all over them.
Fight so hard against
literally,
all over.
over.
It was because of the money. They have a monopoly on
And
funding,
every
but they also
single
have a monopoly
social
on the
media
minds of other people's
platform, they're all
children.
saying
The left in the
bullshit.
US doesn't
It's
even
like,
have to have their own
holy
kids
shit.
anymore. They can infiltrate the government school system and mold the minds of other people's children for such a long time. And that's why I think they fight against letting people go somewhere else harder than anything else. They know they can shape the direction of our country without even having their own children. And so I think we are having a revolution of sorts in the U.S. where we're starting to win these battles because the unions overplayed their hand and showed how far left the rot is in the government school system today. And so 17 of our states have passed universal school choice in 4 years alone. So it's gone from 0 to 100 on the issue. And it's almost been a silver lining of COVID of sorts, where they closed the schools, families saw what was happening in the classroom. And that's what I'm here to talk about at CPAC.
Yeah, it was the same thing with the anti-vax. Oh, kill the anti-vaxxers. Like, what the fuck, man?
Other
What
countries,
is
not
wrong
just
with
the
you
US,
people?
can benefit from
Holy
allowing the money to follow the
shit.
child. I know the government in Australia isn't as favorable to the idea at the moment, but things can change in the future, and so we should get those ideas out front and center right now.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned CPAC, Corey. We'll be there. Outsiders next Sunday morning. We'll be from
Yeah,
CPAC
it's like
live,
whenever
taking
COVID
questions
hit.
from the audience. Corey, you'll be there.
Even before,
I
right?
imagine you've
Fucking
really rehearsed
Obama,
your
right
speech
during
since the
Obama's
events of the
time,
last few
people were
days.
saying some
But
shit.
CPAC in Brisbane,
Fucking
I'm sure,
during
people can still get tickets for that.
Trump's first term,
and,
people were
looking
saying
forward
some
very much
shit.
to
It's
seeing
like,
you
what
there.
the fuck is wrong
Awful
with you people?
circumstances, but we'll be chatting a lot more. Thanks to Corey DeAngelis.
Anyways, there you have it. I will leave, like I said, all the links in the right in the video description. Oh, also I gotta put I'll also put the charity fund if you wanna give to Charlie Kirk as well and his family. So yeah, there you have it.